This tutorial is a short demonstration of yED to help with efficiency in creating flow diagrams. It'll go pretty quickly, probably 5 to 10 minutes max, and should give some helpful hints on how to create these diagrams. Essentially, the flow diagram is pretty simple. The decision branching points should really use a diamond shape. Okay, the main steps in a pathway can just use a red box. And these are essentially the two main shapes that you would be using. Some helpful hints is you can resize the shape to be able to put any text in it. Let's have it on palette. So I'm just sketching these. You can make any size you want. To connect the shapes is pretty simple. You can just put one and you can drag an arrow down by holding the click, and it'll connect to the next. And you know you'll know that it's connected because when you move the bottom box, the arrow will stay with it. So connecting is just drawing an arrow from one box to the other. The box is useful for making decision points. So this may be a question that can branch into two other questions or questionnaires or groups of questions, depending on a yes or no or any answer. So that's why diamond shape is useful for that. So here we put two possible responses. One of them can be a yes and it can be a no. And the way that you can designate a label on the arrow to say which is a yes and which is a no is you can click and highlight the arrow. And down on the right, there's text. You can just say whatever you want to in text. So here I'm going to say yes. So if yes, go to the right. And this arrow is going to represent no. So if no, again, go to text box and say no. So this puts a label on the arrow. And then do the second box. And by the same token, you can select the box that you want to put some text in, such as a, and you can say in here a question. Okay, do you have a decision? Just pick up any question. Okay, and you can see that that question will appear here. So do you have a decision? Yes, then do this. If you don't have a decision, no answers, no, do that. This is very useful for chaining together decision points between questions. You can create one question, you can create a series of questions is nested by saying yes and no. So let's see how we do that. So I'm going to select all of these, move down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and create another box. You know what you can do to copy these boxes if you don't want to resize each time is what I just did. I selected the box and did Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste a copy of that. Just as the commands as copying and pasting in the other application. So I have two copies of the same box and edit the text in either of them. So let's edit the text here. Do you want to make a decision? Okay. And the third one is, I'm going to just make another question. Do you want to write a decision? Okay, so I have three questions. If in this box it gets too hard to see and you want to make it larger, click on the ellipse and make it larger, and you can put as much text as you like in there. So that's handy to use as well. There we are. So we have different questions. Okay. Do you have a decision? Do you want to make a decision? Do you want to avoid a decision? And we'll put the mark at the end of this one. Doesn't really matter, just put it there just for consistency. There, okay, so I'm going to nest these questions. Do you want to make a decision? Okay. And again, I can draw a box from this to that, a line from this to that. And then want to avoid a decision. You have a decision. Okay. So in this case, do you want to make a decision? Say the branch here is yes. And then I'm going to say here for half. Do you want to avoid a decision? I'll say no. And just to make it logical, I'm just going to use no as well, because it doesn't make sense the way I have it typed right now. And it's very handy to be able to select the arrow and change the text to whatever you want. Okay. So, do you want to make a decision? No. Then do you want to avoid a decision? Then no. Then do you have a decision? Then if yes, do this, and if no, do that. Okay. And then I can actually put the other answers. So this is a no answer. I can also put a yes answer. So here's what I want to do for a yes answer. I'll draw an arrow to that, and the label on this one will be yes. Okay. And again, I have a no, but I don't have a yes for this one, so I put a yes answer for this one too. Again, the arrows connect them. Select the arrow, go into text, put in yes. You don't have to just say yes and no on these labels. You can also have a question like, do you want to make a decision? Let's put another decision point, another bridging question here. And this will be, how many decisions do you want to make? Okay, so let's change that question. How many decisions do you want to make? Okay, so here my answers could be, let's get rid of this box. Okay. Draw an arrow here. And do you want to make a decision? The answer here will be yes. How many decisions do you want to make? And so if you're going to make more than one decision, so my arrow labels now are just going to be yes and no. They can be specific answers. So more than one decision. Okay, then do what's on the box to the right, or less than one decision. There we go. And again, I can see here the label is less than one decision. And again, I can do what's on the box to the right. Okay. And no, in this case, the box didn't quite connect, so you can just draw the arrow, just grab the arrow and drag it, and when you do, it'll connect the box. One thing you have to be careful with, just notice that I accidentally dragged another arrow trying to connect something by accident. Just hit the escape and it'll go away. So now we have less than one decision, more than one decision. So your answers don't have to be yes and no. They can be multiple other types of answers. And that's essentially how you create a decision tree. It's pretty straightforward. The key hints here are to use the right panel here to enter the text for the box. Okay. Making sure to use a diamond shape to be able to represent questions. Any question can have a yes and no answer or multiple possible answers, and so the diamonds are very useful for this. When you chain diamonds together, you're essentially nesting questions. So if the answer is yes, branch off and do something. If the answer of that is yes, then branch off and do something else, and so on. So that's why the diamonds are useful for that. And that really concludes the tutorial. Thank you.